Yo people, what's going on? Welcome back to Laced Up Boxing. How is everybody doing? I'm filming this on a Friday, the day before Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Bud Crawford. I'm so keen. Let me know who you've all got. I mean, by the time this goes out, it'll be a couple hours out from the fight. I've got Terence Crawford by decision, but it could definitely go either way. I can see both Errol and Terence winning. So yeah, so keen to watch that one. But in today's video, we got a influencer boxing video. Well, influencer ex-MMA guy. We're talking about Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, which is next Saturday. And the question is, can Nate Diaz survive Jake Paul? I've heard lots of talk online saying that Nate is going to wipe the floor with Jake, and like this was going to be Jake's hardest fight. And in my mind, I'm a bit like, really? I think people are overestimating Nate, you know? I think they're thinking about prime day Nate back in the UFC when he would walk through punches and just put guys to sleep. But I think they're forgetting that Nate only really ever had success when it was the late rounds and he took people to the deep waters and they were fatigued. He never really knocked many guys out. I know he almost knocked out Leon Edwards, but again, that was in the last round when Leon was probably knackered. I think Jake Paul's last fight was Tommy Fury. Obviously, he didn't get the win. People think the hype train's over and that Jake is just some YouTube kid, and they forget about all the things that he did beforehand, about knocking out Tyron Woodley and boxing with Anderson Silva and knocking him down. Yes, Anderson was a bit older, but he's always been a good striker. And before that, he had beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who was a champion, a former champion, you know? So he wasn't some bum old dude. He was able to go the whole rounds with Jake when Tyron Woodley couldn't have. So that just shows his skill level. So there's been leaked footage of Nate training for this fight, hitting pads and sparring, and it just looks like Nate, you know? He has his hands down, he slaps the punches, he seems to lean quite forward with his chin down, with his chin up, and there's not much power behind his punches, it's more flurries, and he just looks very open for counter shots. And someone quick enough, I think he'll quite easily be hit. Now, he's very durable, as everyone knows, so would Jake be able to put him away? That's really the question. But in terms of the boxing, I don't think he's going to trouble Jake too much, unless it goes to the deeper rounds. I think this fight is 10 rounds now, which is a big step up for Jake. I mean, he's never fought for half an hour before. So if it goes that far, I think maybe Nate might have a bit more success. But early in the round, it's going to be very dangerous for Nate. Jake's going to come in there sharp, powerful, and looking to prove something. He keeps mentioning the fact that he wants to knock out Nate. So, which isn't always a good thing if you go into a fight looking for a knockout. But I think Jake's learned to not reach for it too much. And if you just look at Nate and Jake hitting pads side by side, I mean, it's just two different worlds, you know? Jake's looking very sharp. He's brought Shane Mosley back into his camp, and he said he's gone back to the basics, which is really good. I think that's the best thing Jake could have done, is just go back to the basics and hone in all your skills, tie up any loose ends, and just really build a base. He may have lost against Tommy Fury, but Jake has been boxing for 5 years. Tommy has been boxing on and off his whole life since he was 6 years old. I mean, and to go the distance and knock down Tommy Fury, it still proved the point for sure. And even though Nate said he's been boxing his whole life and he's always done it in his training camps for his UFC fight and always brought in pro boxers to spar, it's different when that's the only thing you train. I know Nate loves his grappling and his BJJ, So I think he would mainly be focusing on those things rather than just the striking. So as far as my prediction goes, it can go two ways for me, to be honest. I think depending on Nate's chin, Jake can either get him out of there early, round 3 or round 4, or Nate will just use his tricks of the trades, things he's picked up over the years, and be able to survive in there the whole 10 and lose by a decision. In my opinion, I don't see any way of Nate winning this, you know. I think Jake will outpoint him in every round, outpower him, and he's just a younger, stronger guy. I think this is a good, safe fight for Jake to look to redeem himself and then go after that Tommy Fury fight, which I'm very excited for. I think Jake definitely stands a better chance in the rematch with Tommy. Now he knows what he brings to the plate. He's seen how Tommy fights and he'll adjust to it. He's got a very good team around him. Yeah, I feel like I would definitely favour Jake in the rematch. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does Jake Paul finish Nate Diaz, or will Nate's experience be enough for him to win? Let's find out. But if I was a betting man, Jake Paul. Thanks for watching, people. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.